Yeah. Yeah.
It is going to be interesting though, like with the next version, it's like if we face it again, how do we compare? Because obviously, like by that point, maybe our team will have gotten like 5% better or something super small. But do we get clapped this time? I think it'd be cool in the next version. Hypothetically, if you did have us back and be like, okay, you guys faced the old version, it went 3-1. How does the new version fare against you guys?
Yeah, no, for sure. Sorry, I'm just setting up the match here. Okay. Ready?
Am I good to join?
Yeah, feel free.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know, you guys are already getting in game.
Yep, okay. Should be able to just join the spectator team.
I am in.
Okay. Their ping is not looking too good. Hopefully that's just because the match is paused.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Not
Okay, there we go.
Looks like, well, they got better ping than we did.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, all right, here we go. We're going in. This is the Ontario Technical University, their esports team, going up against Nexto. I'm gonna let you take it for a second while I change the overlay. Is that right?
No, you're good, you're good. Nexto is gonna be doing what it does best with going with quick flicks. Now taking control again, it loves its backflip flicks. Can it get this one on target? It cannot find the back of the net. Sad destroy now with another shot coming from Nexto. A lot of Nextos on the field, shot after shot after shot. Ontario definitely struggling to get this ball away, but we see Nexto actually stealing boost, and again, the backflip flicks causing a lot of havoc. First 30 seconds in this game. Again, one of the things that we did during our game is we know if you give it time and space, it'll always beat you in a flick just like that. So we'll see how, obviously deal with this one, that you almost always need to send someone first going for pressure. You see now Nexto's got 100 boost, going to be going for this one potentially early, actually wanting to take control. It is very interesting it almost always knows if someone is actually challenging you or not. And if you give it any space, it will always take its opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing that we've seen
now,
time
this one
and time
actually
again.
going to be finding the target.
Oh, wow.
Who else but Nexto scoring? It's
of
got
course,
3
the
players,
one,
so
the
it's a
original.
good chance that on its team it's going to be the one scoring, but Shred's not the greatest touch mid. And we saw Sad in net. He had a decent opportunity, but coming off the sidewall, Nexto able to get one early on them. 1-0 going to the bots.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were mentioning earlier that the thing that really stands out to me about Nexto is its incredible pressure, right? It's just shot after shot after shot. When one Nexto misses, another Nexto is in. But of course, with that being said, the defense, not its strongest suit. It looks like Treads with a really good touch here off the backboard. Pepper with the follow-up catches one Nexto. Oh, wow. And Treads actually landed on the defender. Look
I love that.
To stop the save.
One thing that we tried during our game is hit it backboard, which we definitely were struggling to do. But if these guys do a good job of hitting it on the backboard, I think Nexto will struggle. But like you said, pressure is one thing that Nexto really strives on doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And just there with that 50 that Treads just made, even though Treads was in the way and Nexto was in an awkward spot, the ball ended up going off of their backboard, which really speaks to how good Nexto is at hitting the ball in exactly the right way to make it not quite good.
No!
Oh, no. Oh, okay, a good save by Sad. Almost the own goal, but we're good. There's still a chance for the humans. Nobody saw it.
No, didn't go in. What is interesting is when the ball is high like that, you'll see 1, 2, or potentially all 3 of the Nexto bots just hovering, like doing a circle, all doing the same movement, waiting to see who actually is going to jump for it. It's almost finding the angle. We see another Nexto going for this one. Now Treads is trying to get something going here, but my question is, are you surprised by the boost management of Nexto? Because we've noticed that if it doesn't need boost, it won't take like one of the big pads.
Right.
It almost always left us boost, so we never were struggling with boost on the field, which was obviously super nice for a threes match.
yeah. Nexto, one of the things that it's learned, I guess, a lot from especially in ones, of course, it has this incredible level of control that lets it manipulate the ball even from a standstill with very low boost. So it doesn't often go for the kinds of boost grabs or boost steals that we would often see from humans, knowing that its teammates don't need boost, right? When Nexto is doing self-play, it doesn't matter if it steals boost because it knows that it can play very well with no boost, right? So why would it steal boost from its opponents?
Yeah.
Here.
No, it's interesting to see how it plays, especially for someone who's not now in the game, worrying about my own play. I can kind of watch eagle eye of what's going on. But now we see I was gonna say 1-1, low scoring game so far. We'll see what Nexto is gonna be taking the dub on this one, because like I said, I do think the bot is gonna take it. I haven't seen any specific play that makes me feel that, oh, Ontario has a clear play style that's just trying to counteract Nexto. So far, it's been pretty 50-50, but Nexto still, minute 38, trying to get some pressure going early. And remember, it doesn't like to avoid demos, so we'll see if that plays a factor later in the series.
Yeah, we've already seen one demo. Of course, the goal in favor of blue team here was because of a Goomba stop as well, so it does seem like they're going for the more physical plays. And I wonder if that's because they maybe studied up on the bot a little bit like we were talking about earlier, but it feels to me like maybe they're almost getting caught out by how fast Nexto really is in the game.
It's so annoying. So many times you think you have it beat, you think you're first to this one, and that actually finds the back of the net.
What an awkward shot to defend.
Well, it's like awkward shot to defend, absolutely, but like with both of them back, you would figure that one of them would have had that, both coming from the sides.
Yeah, maybe a little miscommunication there.
You know what? Nexto doesn't care. It's in the back of the net. It just, it's happy it got rewarded, and it's going to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Nexto now, it's a good high toss. Another Nexto up for the backboard shot, but unfortunately nobody to follow up. Sad, sends it downfield, but there is a Nexto there for the intercept, and it's in the net. And this again
finding the back of the net.
That constant pressure. You're never safe from Nexto. It's always going to be there to take a shot.
What we ended up doing, which works really well, is first of all, if you miss a clear, it's game over. It will counter every single time, and it's annoying because it doesn't miss. So one of the best ways that we've noticed is if you clear it, make it as high as possible. Is that just a... We're just going to ignore that. It didn't happen. We're going to ignore that. But, when clearing it, we were like, okay, we need to hit as high as possible, and we also need to hit it to the sidewalls, because it does a really good job in the middle of the field, but when it comes to off-the-wall plays and off-backboard, that's where it struggles. Which, again, in theory is great. You can do it, but when it comes to actual play, it's difficult. But so far, I definitely have noticed Ontario not implementing bigger clears from their own half.
Yeah, absolutely. Another demo coming in, though, so they definitely are trying these physical plays, but yeah, that's something that we were commenting on during your guys' matches, that I saw you guys going for a lot of demos and physical plays, but one of the risks of that, of course, is that when you're demoing a bot, you're not hitting the ball, right? And so you leave an opportunity open for one of the other Nexos to come in and take a shot that can be really hard to defend for your teammates, so it's definitely a risk.
Well, one thing that I kind of, if we played Nexto again, knowing what we know now, the demos, what works so well is because I am one of the players who goes for a lot more demos. So what's nice is since the bot doesn't avoid it, my percentage of getting the demo is that much higher. But my teammates, aren't probably thinking, oh, he's probably going to get the demo anyway, so they want to push up. So if I were to play it again, definitely I would be going for a lot of demos with someone early challenging, knowing that I'm probably going to get the demo since the bot won't avoid it, and also really, really utilizing the backboard, I think would be how I'd do it. But game one coming to a close, and it is the bots taking the lead, so I am 1/3 of the way from my prediction coming true.
Yeah, and, a really decisive game.
What's interesting is we can't even say like the cheesiness, like, oh, Nexto won, or if they lost, like, what does Nexto need to do differently for next game? It's like, well, it doesn't work that way. But look at the shot difference. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy. Nexto, again, it just shot after shot after shot. You have to ready up as well.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's just constant pressure, and that's a common theme that we've seen even in the pro game show matches, is that Nexto, it just has this relentless attacking style that can be so hard to defend against. But so, okay, humans,
one shot.
Game?
Yeah, warm-up game. One shot. You know what? They got a goal off of it, so I mean, that is something.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing.
We did see a lot of demos coming in that game, so we'll see how they want to change it. I will say, though, I think as far as MMR-wise, they might be slightly lower than NDSU. That might just be my opinion, but obviously you did say it's a different bot, so it's kind of hard not quite comparing apples to apples.
Yeah,
but
well, I got the impression that these guys were mostly GC1, and I felt like you guys were maybe more towards the GC2 side of things, so there is a little bit of a difference.
Backboard defense it's pretty much non-existent for Nexto, and you saw none of the bots even jumping for that one, just kind of accepting defeat, and Trez with a good read. And if that's the type of shots that they can get, that I believe is what's going to get them. I talked about it earlier that if I were to play them again, I would utilize the backboard as much as possible, because that is something that Nexto just hasn't quite learned how to do. So that, I think, is going to be the key for Ontario to get the win here.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think we'd really like to see these humans going for much faster, higher aerial plays, or of course just finding opportunities like that one where Nexto's totally out of position with a nice little drop down to the infield pass. Still a fairly close shot, but yeah, the aerial plays definitely are Nexto's weakness. We would like to see humans trying to adapt to that, go for more high shots, go for more passing plays, go for more aerial stuff, and I think it'll be much easier for them against Nexto.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, I know you said like one blip on the radar with this game doesn't really mean anything, but it would be interesting to see to have high-level players just constantly playing this to see if it would adapt any faster.
Ooh,
what an
wow.
angle
A
from
nice
Sad.
double touch. Oh my.
I don't know if they've
That's
been listening
crazy.
to the stream, but all 3 goals just coming directly off the backboard. And again, no one on Nexto. I don't know how to say that properly, considering they're all the same thing. But Nexto does not jump for off the backboard. So, so far, Ontario figuring out the little hack on beating the bot here.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they took game 1 and they ran with it. They said that no, we're not going to lose again. We know Nexto's weaknesses, excuse me, and we're going to capitalize on them as best we can.
We see now popped into the air, pretty dangerous, but Nexto beating him to the ball. Tread's probably going to get a decent clear right to the mid, but Nexto does control that one. We see another one going up early. Someone's got to jump for it. Pepper getting a decent clear to the corner. Going to be tough to follow up, though. Nexto up early, and again, almost always beating them in the air, but Pepper with a good clear out. We've got a 1v2 situation, and Nexto just banging it backboard. And you see, that's the difference, that Sad is already up there expecting a backboard clear like a typical threes match. So that is just one of the biggest, differences bot versus human so far.
Right, exactly. We saw Pepper there just going in for a quick early challenge right on the post, not even letting the bot attempt to set up a shot, and I think that's really smart. If you can prevent the bot from even getting into a position where it can shoot, right, you'd rather not have to defend the shot at all, and I think that Pepper's catching on to that.
Ooh, good defense out of Nexto, but Sad, again, kind of playing as a third man. One thing that is nice is that Nexto doesn't go for a ton of booming clears, so you don't have to actually sit your third man back as far as you typically would for a threes match, because if he's not going to bang it, you don't have to always have the super deep rotation expecting a huge clear to your own backboard.
Right, exactly. It does leave an opportunity for more of the team to get upfield, and we're kind of seeing that in here with most of the Ontario team past the midfield line, but Nexto, with an incredible flick, gets it around one in a great 50, not quite in the net, and Sad will have possession now, popping it into the midfield for a Treads, waiting to take the shot, but Nexto will get the clear, another Nexto to follow it up, and they take it downfield.
Good 50. What's interesting, seeing the super quick, what you would kind of clarify as like joystick movements back and forth of it, not knowing where exactly it wants to make its next movement. But it never boost steals, which again, is just so odd to me because there's so many times that I'm thinking like, oh, the optimal play is to be here, and it doesn't do that. So it's just, interesting to see now from the kind of the casting perspective, individually, what does the bot like to do?
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely does not know to take boost too much from its opponents because, like I was saying earlier, Tread's here up for another touch, but wow, Sad with a great read off the backboard. 4-0 for the humans.
Again, that is so beautifully perfect, just off the backboard. Nexto sitting on the ground. We're just going to say Tread's faked it, of course. That's why Nexto didn't jump up.
Yep, that was
and Sad coming in. And he's been kind of dominating this game so far. Sad and Treads both with 2 goals apiece. And I'm pretty confident in saying that the game 2 here is going to go in favor of humanity. But still, the bot already took a game off, so it'll be a 1-1 tied series at least going into game 3 most likely.
Yeah. Now, I think it was a lot of first game jitters maybe, but here in game 2, it feels like the Ontario team is really coming into their own. I feel like they're playing a lot faster, they're passing a lot more, and it's really working out for them.
Nexto, he's got it on his hood, which is always dangerous. Gets it past 2, but Treads back. But another shot coming. Nexto going for this one again, but not able to find the angle. Now we've got a 1v1 back. Pepper off the back wall. Was anyone going to be there? Nexto not sure how to handle that one, which again, the walls and the back wall are definitely its weakness, but Nexto really good in the ground, and when it comes to 50s, it loves getting plat pops apparently on people. That is one I have not seen yet, but its challenge game too is just phenomenal, as we're going to see now. Pepper up wall, he's got 100 boost, minute left, and definitely shout out to Ontario boys, just changing up their play style, and just, I talked about if they use the backboard, that's how they're going to win, and they did exactly that.
Go for a pinch there, sends it down the field, but there is an Nexto ready for the response, gets a 50 underneath Sad Destroy, but Treads is there to get the clear out of the corner. Now Nexto tries to catch the ball, but treads with a great bump. That's the thing. Nexto, when it catches the ball, even at a standstill, it may not look dangerous, but it is terrifying. Nexto's ability to convert a standstill ball into an incredible top bins shot is unparalleled. So they need to stop him from being able to set up those shots, and that's exactly what we're seeing.
And confirm. It is very notable. Actually, we see a bump. Pepper getting a touch on Nexto, not able to find the angle. But like you said, so many times that you don't think this is a threatening ball, that he's got no momentum on the ball. He gets his flicks every single time. So many times you're like, oh, well, I'm back on defense. I can probably, block most shots. But no, he always finds top corner. And just the accuracy. Obviously, it's a bot, so he does it every single time. But we're just not used to humans expecting in a 1v1 situation that he always hits his mark.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be game 2. Now the match is all tied up 1-1. That was a very decisive game for the humans.
But still, look at the shots, though. Nexto, last match he had 16 shots. This one finding 12. But last match we saw Ontario only finding 1 shot. Now upping it to 7. So, props to them for making that change. We'll see if they can keep that up going into game 3.
Yeah, and like I said, I felt like this game, the first game, maybe there were just some early game jitters going on, but I felt like this game, the Ontario team really came into their own and seemed like they were playing much more as a coordinated unit than anything else. And that was something that in your guys' game, Mel and I were speaking about it as well, is that Nexto, not only is it not particularly good at dealing with these kinds of aerial and backboard plays, but also these coordinated team passing plays, right? It's something that it doesn't really do in training.
We talked about that in our game, is that it doesn't pass. We don't have to worry about passing at all.
Right.
And like, we'll see a mid pass here. I think if Pepper kept on that, I think he would have had the shot. Like you said, since Nexto doesn't do it, he's not really aware of it or thinking about it. So you really have to try to figure out, okay, what does Nexto know how to do? Because if it doesn't know how to do something, it doesn't know how to defend it, and really taking advantage of that.
That's exactly right. We can see Pepper going in for the clear. Pepper is actually a member of our community. She's great. We like her a lot. So we're super excited to be able to have her on the stream.
I assume she was the one who reached out and said, hey, my team wants to play.
Yeah, it was great. But here,
Nexto again. Like, that's one of those where I, as the player, I'm expecting to beat the bot 100 out of 100 times, but somehow always, what would be actually really interesting is if you had Nexto playing with like a Dominus hitbox, which is a little bit longer, how it would change, like going for 50s or going for aerials, because it would be able to beat it, just that many more times.
Yeah, you're completely right. It's interesting to think about the different ways that it would play with different hitboxes. And somebody in our community has actually been running a big comparative test of all the hitboxes on all the cards to see how much Nexto changes its playstyle based on the hitbox. It doesn't know that the hitbox is different. It just thinks that it's always in an octane. But it's interesting to observe slight differences in the way that it plays, just because it sort of gets touches in sort of slightly different ways and hits the ball maybe a little earlier or a little later than it was expecting.
So it'd be interesting to see, way down the line, if you had them go against each other, you could just basically say, okay, yep, Octane's best because we had the bots battle it out, or something like that.
A comparative
undisputed
analysis.
Proof of, 500,000 hours comparing the hitboxes. Kind of getting back to the match here. Can we see a ceiling shot read?
Treads coming in.
Can't quite find the angle. Again, it was free because, again, Nexto does not like to go up for those, but still, the fact that he's going for that, absolute respect to him. Nexto shot. If it was on target, it would have been in, but 0 boost. And we see another shot coming out early, relenting pressure indeed, but one thing that I've noticed is Nexto, he can't keep pressure because he doesn't steal a boost. So he does try to go for shots and stuff, but it's just not always there. Can he find the drop down angle?
Wow, what an incredible redirect by Treads in midair. And this is just the most beautiful play. Nexto makes a shot, Pepper with an easy clear, and Treads with just this unbelievable redirect straight down into the net. I mean, who's going to defend that? That was incredible.
That was absolutely disgusting. So now we've got, we had Heat Assassin in the first game hitting a nasty double tap, and now Treads with an unbelievable redirect. I keep playing it back. That is an unbelievable angle, and that's got to be a good, hype momentum saying, hey guys, it's just a bot. We can clip on them literally. He's not going to jump for it.
Yeah, I think and I think that really, that makes a lot of difference. Like we were talking about earlier, is that mindset really matters, right? The bot doesn't have a mindset. It doesn't get tilted and it doesn't get tired, but it also doesn't get hyped, right?
Nexto just about doing him dirty, taking the axles.
Another pop-up high. We can see all 3 Nextos here upfield, and they just shot after shot after shot, right? When one shot doesn't go in, another one is taken.
Which
well,
Okay,
They're
you know
not
what?
threatening,
You know
but
what?
they are
Yep.
they are consistent, right? Even if one shot maybe is a little too high, take one player out of the game and you just instantly take another shot. Another player out of the game, instantly take another shot, right? Eventually, someday,
Eventually run
you're
out of
gonna
boost.
have to miss, right?
So what's interesting is I'm thinking, the day that when Nexto can steal those corner boosts and just keep going for shot after shot, they'll be able to boost starve as well, which is just gonna make it that much more terrifying. But you're right that it's always just shot after shot after shot. It's got 14 boosts. It doesn't care. It's still floating around waiting for something as well. So we see Sad now getting it going. I do like that it's 1v1. A little more fun than a 4-0 versus last game. But now Pepper trying to get something going here, just trying to find it over Nexto. But
pop, unfortunately.
I
Pepper actually
love when
gets
Nexto
tripped up,
has
and
it.
Nexto with a flick over 2. Treads gets the save,
Oh,
but
boy.
Nexto's going to cast it, and another Nexto just right behind the first one. See, this is one thing that we've really seen a lot, is that Nexto likes to double commit, right? We see double commits from humans all the time. We go, that's terrible, right? Don't double commit, right? And we see that as a bad play. But when Nexto does it, it feels like it's really working out a lot of the time, which is super surprising and
then it gets
often very
rewarded.
unexpected.
Well, it's like I know there was one shot where it pool shotted one of the Nextos into the ball, like off a hood. It basically pinched, and we're just like, who goes for that? And it's just like, I mean, it works, so it's probably going to go for it again, which is, again, just something you don't really think about. But we see Nexto getting another shot. Now 2-1 lead. He's only got a minute 15 left on Terra, trying to get something going here. Sad is up, but as we see, that one's going to find the back of the net.
What a bounce.
Unfortunate comms. Nexto just somehow finding the angle, getting the ball in between the two players of Ontario. But Sad probably thinking he was going to find an angle, and Treads not really knowing what's going on there. And now it's kind of dire going into the end of Game 3 here for Ontario.
I feel like that kind of shot is one of the most surprising things to encounter from Nexto as a human. It has this way of knowing exactly where you're gonna go and finding just that right, threading the needle with the ball just right underneath you or right over you, and it's incredible how consistently it does it, and it's very frustrating.
Oh, but we see Pepper finally coming in, I believe getting the first goal on the board for Ontario, at least for her. That's impressive. We've only got 55 seconds left. So my question to you is, are we going to see the comeback happen?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I feel like if game 2 is anything to go by, it's definitely possible. I feel like the humans, here they have a strategy that can beat Nexto. They just have to keep it up. It's all about that consistency with the bot, right? Doesn't get hyped, but of course it doesn't get tired, right? It'll never get tilted, and it's just so consistent. It can be really hard for humans.
Open. It's open.
To stay
it
consistent.
finds the back of the net almost
just
off
barely
the post.
off.
The chance were there. Good demo. That's something we have not seen this game, is the demos. But what is interesting is, through the last 30 seconds, a lot of players like, hey, guys, we got to be more aggressive. We got to change up the strategy. We're down. The bot doesn't care. The bot's not going to do anything different. So we see now 23 seconds left. Desperation now coming in for Sad as he tries to get a touch, but this could be dangerous.
High. Double commit on the save. They're both on the backboard. Goes low, but Pepper's able to clear it. Nexto now coming in. Pepper with a clear, Nexto with a challenge. We have it on Nexto's corner, 8 seconds to go. There's a chance, but they're going to need to challenge early. Treads doesn't quite get it. Sad sends it to the middle. Treads is there, Pepper's waiting, but Nexto unfortunately beats them to the ball in a way that only Nexto could, and Nexto 3 will kill the ball, and that is game number 3 in favor of Nexto. 2-1 for the series now.
Did you program the front bot to spin?
No, I don't know. Maybe Raul, did you? I think he's asleep. I don't think so. No.
Okay, I was gonna say I just noticed that it's the only one that actually did any movement there. But we see Humanity down 2-0, which is not the best look for them. I definitely think though that Ontario made a lot of mistakes that they definitely could have capitalized on. There was a couple times they actually ended up blocking their own shot that was in fact going in. So obviously if they want to take the series, it is going to have to go in fact a game 5. But I think they can do it. I think if they go back to game 2 where they utilize the backboard a lot and they hit some ridiculous angles, I think if they go back to that play style, they are going to, force at least a game 5.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen that they have it in them, right? The Ontario team, very talented. They can hit some insane redirects like we've seen. They've got some good passing plays in the book. And, I think the only real question about whether they can come back and win this series is to do with consistently. They can make those plays, but how often can they make those plays? Because Nexto will always defend any mistakes, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like you saw, that nutty angle that Treads hit earlier. It's like, how consistently is he going to, A, get that opportunity, and B, slot it? Because, that was a ridiculous angle. But, that's one where, as a player, you're freaking out, you're clipping it. It's a super hyped moment, but it's one that's not super common. Nexto, he's gonna hit it every single time and go. He's not even gonna have a reaction. He's just gonna keep going.
It's just one more in the books. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we have Nexto 50. It is on target, but Sad is ready with the clear. Sad another quick touch high in the air. Pepper up for the follow-up. Probably not going to land on target. Almost, very close. Treads with another quick setup, and Sad's with the shot to sink it home. Here we see Nexto's aerial defense definitely being abused to great effect.
What's interesting is even if it's not off the backboard, if it's just kind of on the sidewall there, you saw Nexto in net, not sure how to handle that one, didn't even jump. And again, I talked about it just a little bit ago. If they go back to the backboard touches and getting the reads off there, Nexto won't jump. And when we talk about like, oh, the backboard's free, blah, blah, blah. It actually is because the bot is not jumping. But it's definitely difficult to, set up those things and know that, hey, if I miss this read, it's going to counter and will flick it over me, and it's going to be a quick goal.
Right, exactly. Now we can see Nexto goes for the early challenge, misses the ball, but it's straight to the other Nexto. Here we have a shot, hits the post, Nexto no boost. We have one waiting by the mid boost, but Pepper will beat it. Sends the ball downfield right into the waiting arms of Nexto, who tries to turn it around, unfortunately. A good challenge by Tread. Nexto catches it on his hood, goes for a quick flick, and the follow-up around Pepper is good. The game is tied up.
It's so frustrating to watch, just from the player's perspective, knowing that it's threes, you got to challenge early, and just knowing that I'm basically doing this just to make the bot flick, because it will flick it, and the fact that it gets so much power so consistently, it's truly a spectacle to watch. And if you're Nexto, I mean, that is, I think, it has two forms of offense in the fact that midfield flicks are going to throw it extremely far, and then just the small touches close to net that's just pressuring shot after shot after shot after shot. And that is how it takes down teams.
Yep, you're absolutely right. I think we're seeing, these really smart plays from the blue team, although Nexto with a breakaway clear. Fortunately, Tread is here. I think we're seeing some really smart plays from the Ontario team because, Nexto, it's really easy to see it get the ball in its hood and think, okay, well, it's going to be a flick, but, me, Grand Champ, I have plenty of experience defending flicks, so I'll just wait, I'll do a shadow, and then I'll challenge maybe a little early.
Oh, what an angle!
Wow, what an incredible redirect by Nexto out of the air, straight into the bottom corner. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Nexto is so surprising with how quickly and accurately it can turn something that looks safe into a shot.
Yeah, and it also hits it, bottom corner. I'm just glad it didn't do that in our game, hitting those shots. But I mean, like you said, it is so surprising that it hasn't done a shot like that or even attempted one at all in this entire series. And then out of nowhere, suddenly it's A, going for it, and B, slotting it perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that I think is maybe a little underestimated. Is it's easy to say, oh well, the bot's not changing. I'll just figure out how to abuse it.
But Nexto with an open net miss.
So close. Even the bot can miss open nets. See, another shot just barely goes wide.
I don't know if Nexto's now just throwing or what's going on here, but definitely a couple opportunities that I probably should have put away. Does still have the lead here, and Humanity's life is now down to 2 minutes left. Nexto trying to hold on to get a win for the AI, but we'll see again. All I want to see is Ontario go back to these open backboard reads, which again, a little easier said than done, but that's how I think, again, they're going to continue to pull off a win here.
Yeah, absolutely. Side with a good opportunity, but we did see Nexto challenge it in the air. Tread's just sending it back to the midfield. We can see the Ontario team really just playing for control here. No boost, but still just trying to keep the ball in the orange half. Unfortunately, they can't keep it there forever as Nexto does get a clear downfield. However, Treads is up for this, not as fast as Nexto, and there's another one immediately for the follow-up. This is what we keep seeing time and time again, the incredible aggression from Nexto. It just knows exactly when to go in, and when it takes a shot, you know it's going home.
It really is crazy just how good it is, always having a second man there. And that's kind of what you wish for threes. I hit my shot wide or hit it off the post of the backboard, but someone is always there to follow up. And Nexto does such a good job of reading its own touches and following up, pressuring. And now Ontario obviously is suffering now as we see a minute left. I don't know if they're going to be able to get us. The ball is going to be free off the backboard, but Pepper not able to find contact on that one. Nexto, we can't say, it changed its play style, but I think its playstyle just worked a little bit better this game.
Right. Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Is the thing about Nexto is even though its playstyle isn't changing, and there are some things that you can maybe find about it to abuse, when you change your playstyle to try and abuse something you learned about it, it has an answer to your new playstyle that maybe hides that thing you were trying to abuse before. So it's almost like it's changing its playstyle.
Yeah. That one almost finding the target, but Nexto, calm, cool, and collected, catches it on the goal line, goes for a flick over one, down to 30 seconds left. Pepper trying to find an angle of a century. Shred's now trying to get something going. He's got plenty of boost, but Nexto, he's just so good at just constant pressure. And actually, we see demos, and then actually ends up leaving this one at 20 seconds left. Desperation, Pepper popping up high. We see Sat and Shreds both going for this one. Now the double commit's gonna definitely hurt one, and I think it's just about safe to say that the humanity has fallen in this match versus Nexto.
Yeah, it looks like we're about to wrap up the series maybe a little early, unfortunately, with Nexto coming out this game with a 1-3 lead. Ball is still in the air, but unfortunately, there's no way to come back, and that is GG.
So now they got both Nextos spinning in circles, it looks like. So interesting. GG's definitely appreciate all the players, stopping by and doing this. It was definitely fun to cast. Kind of crazy to see what Nexto, can actually hit, especially from the casting perspective. So it'll be cool to see, as ranks up, how much better it does. But so humanity is now 1-1. And
yeah,
I don't know if I like leaving it at a 1-1. It's tied right now.
Yeah, well, that was really exciting. Now let me just tell you, thanks so much for coming on, K-Tool. That this has been great. It definitely wouldn't have been the same without you. You're a much better caster than I am.
No. I just appreciate the opportunity. Again, what you guys are doing is truly special, and I just hope you guys keep doing it. And if you guys need a team, test more Nextos, feel free to feel free to hit us up, because it really was a lot of fun. Even if it is so frustrating getting beat by bots in certain situations.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. And yeah, I think we'd absolutely love to have you guys back on at some point, when the bot is maybe a little better, or when version 3 comes out. We would certainly jump at the opportunity to get you guys to come on again and try out the bot when it's a little better.
I appreciate you guys in chat, liking my casting. So yeah, if you guys need a caster, I'm available, just potentially. So
yeah, absolutely, for sure. I'll definitely be in contact.
Yeah. I'll be the U.S. caster. Help out when all
right.
the Europeans are asleep and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, again, thank you so much for coming on. It was great to have you, and we'll definitely have you back on again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, and have a good night.
Yep, you too.